You know, I can't be doing this right now. I've got work to do. You want to spin in the chair? Here, let's spin in the chair. You got your hair all over it anyway.
Are you really gonna look at this cute face and not subscribe?
Hello, string pickers. Run into the noise. Let's go!
Pow! Well, hello, you bunch of string picking guys and gals. You welcome back to the String Pickers channel here at my obscene studio. Ladies and gentlemen, today we start a project that is going to be a first for me in this studio because I've never played one of these guitars, this brand of guitar. And it's not this one. What you heard in the intro was just something I wanted to jam to. And I will tell you, this guitar is a beast, an absolute beast. I absolutely love that thing. It's just made to rock and roll, and that's why I love it. However,
He's got this thing right here.
that's right, string pickers. We are working with an Indiana Telecaster. It is Indie Custom Limited Edition guitars. I have to look under my glasses to see, you know, because I don't want to be one of those that has the glasses on the end of your nose so you can look over. And it's got the slim taper neck. I got this guitar, ladies and gentlemen, on a trade, and it was basically a free guitar. The guy had given me this guitar and the bass that you've seen in the last video series that I did here on this channel. So I was like, okay, you know, so I wanted to start a project, something like this, to take just a cheap kit guitar, which is what he said this was. Said it only cost like $100 and it came in a kit and you just basically put it together and rock and roll, and that's it. But it's been a long time since this thing has been loved. And you know how we do here on this channel. We grab these guitars just like this and we turn them into rock and roll machines. So if this is your first time here, ladies and gentlemen, we do stuff like this here at the String Pickers channel. We do gear reviews, we do mods, we do restoration, and just all kinds of stuff to these guitars. So if this is your first time seeing this,
Like and subscribe, by the way.
we'd sure appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button and just hang around and join the fun. If you want to know a little bit more about how we do stuff like this, if you just want to laugh, I mean, look at me. Look, is this not good for a laugh? So we're just going to put this together, going to mod it, going to change some things up on it. Got a couple of little repairs to do right up here around the edge of the neck pocket, on the top and on the side, right on either side of that binding. But first, let's get some specs so we know what we're looking at. String Pickers, I guess, pretty good on that bass. I said 8.5 to 9. It was like 8.98, you know, so I was like within the realm. On this one, I am probably going to go about 8 on this one. This is a pretty solid body, and it's got a little bit of weight to it. So let's find out how much this thing weighs. Let's see here. There's a hanger up right there. Well, we missed it. 7.6. Which is not bad for this guitar. I expected it to weigh a little bit, you know, more than that because it kind of felt heavier. So this thing, like I said, does need some love.
It kind of looks like it was give up for adoption.
I don't know if, I think this guy put this together and maybe just set it in a closet somewhere. It has some really good sounding pickups though, I will give it that. So I'm not going to really change these pickups out right now. I'm just going to keep the ones that are in here, but a whole lot of other stuff is going to be changed. How it showed up in tune to me, the action at the 12th fret is a big whopping 3.25. And then on the high E string, we are looking at a whopping 3.25. And just for reference, let's go to the middle D string, and it is set at 2.5. So it's kind of doing this over the fretboard from the low E to the high E string. Like I said, we're going to do a lot of stuff to this guitar. I'm going to black this guitar out. This guitar is going to get some stuff changed on it. I have a gilded bridge plate, and it has some Geiger rolling saddles in it because I cannot stand these barrel saddles at all. I've never liked them. I just can't get them to intonate right. Well, I can, but it's just so much work to get some of these to intonate right. And right here, we're changing out the electronics in this. This bridge plate and all the electronics are gone. And we're going to put a black pick guard on this. I have got, these are inline tuners. And the back looks like, you know, kind of like the 60 style, but the tops are not split top tuners. So those are going to go. There's a lot of binding going on in the nut. There was some binding going on back here, which we're replacing this. The nut, however, I'm thinking is plastic. I'm not sure if that is bone. I'm going to check it. I do have a nut coming for this guitar, so that is probably going to be taken out and replaced. However, this thing is it's beautiful. It really is. I mean, I just love it's really a beautiful guitar. It is an Indie Custom ICLE TVB guitar. So we're going to do some stuff. You know what I mean? Some stuff. I don't know if you can see it, but we got some finish that's flaked up right here. Going to have to glue that back down, put some CA glue around that. Also have a piece missing right there. Going to have to fill that in with some CA glue and some nail polish, and we're going to try and get that to where you can barely see either one of those being a flaw. So yeah, we're gonna do some stuff to that too, and shine everything up. Get this thing to absolutely just an amazing guitar. May change the pickups later on, I'm not for sure, but I'm going to get you a little bit of just room sound clean. You know, I'm not like going through the interface or nothing, but we're going to come out of the carbon and out of the monitors at the same time. I'm running the Headrush stereo out, one side to the monitors, one side to the carbon. What you actually heard in the beginning was I have it running out to the carbon, and then I have the carbon mic'd, and that comes into the mixer, and then I run it out of the Headrush into another channel on the mixer to come out the monitors, and all of that was fed to you guys. So if you're wondering about the tone in the beginning, that's what it was. The amp sim that I used was a Bogner amp and Bogner IR 412 cab that I used on the Headrush. So that was that sound. As for now, I'm not going to do distortion because I'm running my head mic and it has noise cancellation and it just sounds like garbage. But we're going to run clean on Casey's Clean. So yeah, you kind of get the idea. I mean, sounds pretty good. However, there is more rust on them strings than a 32 Ford Coupe that's been sitting out in the weather since the 50s. I almost feel like I need a tetanus shot for like even playing this thing. They're just absolutely horrible.
I don't care much for them needles myself.
So we're going to get this thing on the bench over here. We're going to start disassembly, and today we're going to work on the neck. So I'm going to bring you guys over here with me so you can check this out. I really hope that you stay around for this series because I'm going to do some stuff to this guitar that is going to make it absolutely 100% mine when I get it done. I'm going to do it just like I did the bass. The bass I still have. I've not even decided to let that thing go. It is just a phenomenal bass guitar, and I think it turned out so good that I'm going to keep it around for a while. If I'm offered the right money for it or the right trade, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. But we're going to try and put that much love into this one because this one needs it a lot. So come on with me, guys. All right, guys, here we are with the Indiana Telecaster style guitar. This one this one's going to be a fun one because I love the finish. The finish is going to stay. I've always been a sucker for this like tobacco sunburst or whatever this style is called here. So that's going to stay. I'm just going to really just clean all that up. But today we are getting these strings off of here, and we're going to clean this neck up and get everything on this neck going good. And we are going to Scotch-Brite the back of this because it's got that poly on it, and I can't stand that poly. Okay, we got the strings loosened up, so let's go ahead and snip these bad boys out of here. I'm going to say this thing was put together rather well. The guy I got it from, Jason, if you're watching this, you did a fantastic job of putting this thing together, and I think that I probably wouldn't have to do anything to this guitar, but, well, I probably would, because I wanted to change out hardware and stuff like that, because I am big on black on this sunburst color. So I really wanted to do that and get, by the way, thanks John at Smoke Eater Guitars for my guitar neck rest here. That, brother, you're the man. You're the man. But this guitar has not been loved in a while, and a guitar is a lot like a lot of things out there. You hurt them by just leaving them alone. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a guitar and you've got it locked away in a closet somewhere, and then before you know it, 3, 4, 5, 10 years goes by or something like that, and it's not properly put up in a case or something like that, then it's probably going to be in pretty rough shape when you get it out to do some work on it, which I think is what happened to this guitar. However, he did have it in a case, and you can tell from just the body alone, is the only problem that we have is up here on the body where that little piece of paint right there is chipped up. But that's it. I mean, that's the only problem that we have on this guitar. I think we're going to need a neck shim. Not really for sure on that, but let's get this neck off and let's go to getting specs and stuff on the neck. All of these screws are the same length, but I always make it a habit to keep stuff lined up and not mix up, you know. And so I'm just going to set those off to the side with that neck plate. And here is the body. Oh yeah, we've got some burrs down here. We got some burrs down here in the neck pocket there. We got some burrs on the back of the neck. That's kind of what I was thinking, because it looks like the neck needed a shim. So I was thinking to myself that if it didn't have a shim, then more than likely it had real bad burrs right here in the front. So that may have been causing that issue. However, let's get some specs on the neck, and then we're going to run a sock test on it, which I think is going to yield good results because the fret ends feel really nice on this. Also, we are going to check the nut to make sure that it is bone or if it is plastic. I'm not really sure on that. We're just going to have to look at that. I'm not really sure. At the neck, we are looking at a width of, I'm saying 42 millimeters, because most Strat and Tele style guitars are 42 millimeters, and we are at 41.75, so that is about right for a 42 millimeter. At the 7th fret, we are looking at 48.87, and at the base of the neck, we are looking at 57.18. Now, let's go to thickness of the neck. So let's check out the thickness at the 1st fret. That is 21.08. At the 7th fret, 21.28. At the 12th fret, we're looking at 22.26. Now, it does say that this is a slim taper neck, and it is slim. Like, that's almost a D, maybe a D profile, maybe a modern, no, that's sort of a D profile, slim D. So yeah, that's it's a good feeling neck. I just got to get that poly off of there. I can't stand that. So we're going to at some point take this off and do that and get rid of that sticky stuff on the back of it. All right, so now we have an issue, and that issue is we need to glue that down and clamp it and set this body off to the side. So in order to do so, we're going to break out our CA glue. I would just push the wood glue in there and clamp it down like that, but I just don't think that that's going to help the issue much at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot some of this in there. I would like to give thanks once again to Sparky Guitars 971. Sparky, brother, I appreciate all of your help and your advice on this guitar. However, I have not checked to see if this was an actual made in Indiana or if it actually comes from Indiana Guitars. I know there's a lot of controversy about where these guitars are made and where they come from and everything, and I've got to check that out. I've just not checked it out yet. So I'm going to get into that a little later on and try and figure out what the deal is on this guitar, whether it's just China or what. I don't see any markings on the back of the neck. I don't even see a serial number. So I'm kind of thinking that that might be the issue. However, I've not got the pick guard off yet, or the control plate or bridge plate to check and see. So that is something that I'm definitely going to be looking at and getting. So we have set that off to the side, and we'll set our CA glue over here because we don't know. We may end up having to use more of that here directly. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of the back of this neck. And in order to do that, we are going to tape it off. So we'll put all these down here, and we'll get out our thin tape.
Hello, string pickers. Run into the noise. Let's go!
I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see where the shine is reflecting there. Nothing on the back of the neck though. It looks good, and it's super smooth. So yeah, that is going to be a plus. Okay guys, here is the part of the video where I am going to set up a time lapse to work on the rest of this neck. I'm going to take the tuners off. I'm going to get rid of these string trees. I do not like those string trees at all. I have got some black string trees that I'm going to put there instead, and some black tuning machine heads. But for now, I'm going to put you on a time lapse to get all that changed out, and I am going to clean this fretboard and polish these frets and get these frets looking good.
Strike the steel, feel the voltage rise. 6 strings screaming like a battle cry. From the basement to the stage, we ignite the wild. Blood, sweat, riffs, this is how we fight. Hell's hands been old, feedback rain. Every scar earned in the game. If you live for the chug and the solo attack, you're home right now, no turning back. New blood knocking at the door.
Okay guys, this has been on here for probably about an hour to maybe an hour and a half. I really wanted this to just absolutely soak into this wood. This orange oil in this stuff, it just loves this fretboard, and that fretboard just loves it. So it soaks it up really good, and I wanted to give it time because I know it's probably been a while since this thing has had anything on it. So yeah, we've soaked her down in Howard's feed and wax, and it is really helped out. So right now we're just rubbing the excess off. I'm going to flip it over because we put some on the back. I'm going to rub that excess off too. Now that's going to put a little bit of shine back on where we actually scuffed up that poly finish on it, but it is going to be silky smooth. But yeah, we've got that part done, and next we are going to polish these frets. The frets look good. I got rid of the divots in the first 3 frets. I think a lot of that was from cowboy cords. There's nothing in the rest of them. The fret ends feel really good. I'm not even going to bother with a sock test because I can just, I'm feeling nothing but fretboard there. So I don't think I've got anything to worry about as far as fret sprout right now. But yeah, man, I'll tell you what, we're going to do a time lapse again. We're going to take care of these frets real quick, and we'll be right back.
We want more! Turn it up, let the speakers roar. Crank that tone till it shakes the floor. From the unseen studio to the world we go. Metal hearts, one sound, let's go!
And there it is. You can see the shine on that baby now. Neck is nice and level. Frets are polished up. We put our Harrods feeding wax on there. Been on there about an hour, hour and a half, somewhere around in there. Still got a little bit of schmutz on the back of it. So wipe that off. That's from my hands and from the flits. But yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Got that part of it done. May end up doing something different with the furls. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Do you think not the furls, the bushings around the post up here, do you think those look good with the frets like that? I think they look okay because see, we've blacked it out. But we've got the real shiny frets now. We've got our ferrules that are chrome. And on the body, we're going to have that chrome lipstick pickup in the pick guard that's going to be chrome. So I think that may go along with the color scheme of it. So we may end up leaving those. I may end up getting another set of black and putting them in there. I'm not really sure. All of the tuners, I have put some lizard spit in all of those, some liquid graphite, turned them a bunch of times to get that spread out good and even inside. And so yeah, I mean, we are off to a good start. And that's part one, guys, to the Indiana Telecaster style guitar. I'm going to do a little bit of research on this guitar once I get the pick guard off of that one and maybe find a serial number or something and contact the company and find out if this was a kit actually, made by them or one of their guitars, or if it was something like Chinese made. Really doesn't matter to me. I mean, because it sounds good, and I mean, the action was really rough and everything, but when I get done with it, hopefully it's going to be a guitar that's going to play and sound a whole lot better. So yeah, I mean, this neck has worked out really, really well. It is done really good. Next video is going to be working on the body. I've got some parts that are coming in for the body still. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be getting the pick guard. I've got everything else. We're going to put some really cool parts on that body, and we're going to get it to looking really good. We have clamped down that piece that flaked up on the body with some CA glue. I plan on filling the other chip with CA glue and leveling it out and fixing that problem with the guitar. And so yeah, I mean, you can't get much better than that. I mean, it turned out really, really nice. Knock some of that poly down in the back for a smooth neck, and that Harrods feeding wax, man, that's just where it's at. It's just such a smooth feeling guitar. But guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm so glad that you stopped in. I'm glad that you're hanging out here at the String Pickers channel, and I hope that this has been enough of a video to where you've thought to yourself,
maybe I should subscribe to that feller.
because if you do subscribe to this channel, it is very, very much appreciated. I do love the fact that people enjoy my content and people comment on my videos. If you have thoughts, opinions, suggestions, anything like that, leave them below. Until next time, as I always say, I hope that you and yours are having the most blessed day ever, and I pray that God is with you all. Till next time, later.
Hello, string pickers. Run to the noise.